We are climbing Australia's 15 highest peaks in a single day. All located within Kosciuszko National Park, this would be our longest continuous hike yet, with slippery snow patches, extremely strong winds and surreal smoke-coloured skies. This is not just a mountain challenge, but a battle against the elements and our toughest one yet. This challenge was sponsored by Helly Hansen Apparel, Osprey Backpacks, Survival First Aid Kits, Grail Water Purifiers, The Jerky Co, and Bounce Protein Balls, all helping power this challenge with apparel, gear, food and financial support.
Morning everyone, it is the day of the challenge. We got up just after 3, it's 4 o'clock now, we're on our way to Charlotte's Pass and hoping to get started at 4:30 to climb Australia's 15 highest peaks.
This massive trek has been years in the making, and bringing it to life required a lot of research, especially given the inconsistencies around what actually is the 15 highest peaks. After digging deep, this is the route I believe represents the closest thing to the true 15 highest in the country. Starting from Charlotte's Pass, we would follow the main range track, descending to cross the Snowy River before beginning the trek's biggest elevation gain. We would then leave the track to climb the first 3 peaks, Mount Twynham, Little Twynham and Tennyson Woods Knoll, before rejoining the trail to hike up and over Karratha's Peak. From there, it's off trail again to climb Mount Lee, Northcote and Clark. Then it was the toughest off-trail section of the trek, the ascent of Mueller's Peak, Alice Rawson Peak, Mount Townsend and Abbott Peak and Mount Dafua. The last one is technically 2 peaks, but we treated it as one since they're so close to each other. We would then make the very long trek to Mount Kosciuszko and a short off-trail ascent up Ether Ridge. This would be followed by another long walk and the last section off-trail to climb the final 2 peaks, Rams Head North and Rams Head. Finally, the trek would end with a tough 12-kilometre walk, taking a semi-off-trail shortcut to rejoin the final section of the main range track, finishing back at Charlotte's Pass. After driving just over half an hour from Jindabyne, Stu and I made it to the starting point nice and early to begin the challenge.
We're here, mate. We are.
We put our Osprey backpacks on and we're all geared up for the massive day ahead. For this challenge, we were raising money and awareness for Hear and Say. Both of Stu's boys, Archie and Ollie, were born profoundly deaf, so we were supporting other families like Stu and Cass, helping kids learn to hear and speak. Starting from Snowy River, the lowest point of the entire trek at just over 1,700 metres, we faced a 500 metre climb to the first peak. As we approached it, we crossed several small creeks, passed Blue Lake, spotted rabbits, and even saw a lone tent. As we passed the 2,000 metre mark, we saw more and more patches of snow.
Alright, we're nearly at the turn off to go to the first 3 peaks.
As we turned off the main track, the early morning light revealed sweeping views across rolling mountains in the distance. Easily one of the best views of the day. The sun rose as we closed in on the first peak, which we reached in just under 2 hours into the challenge.
Number 1, Mount Twynham.
3rd highest mountain in Australia. What do you got there?
I got Jerky Co's Great Southern. Come on, Stuart.
The next peak was Little Twynham, about 1 kilometre away. This was where I had the brilliant idea to walk down the first patch of snow we encountered. Instead of just walking around it, I stepped straight onto it because, well, it snowed. It was a top of around 25 degrees that day, so seeing snow in the middle of summer in Australia was kind of crazy. What happened next nearly cost us the entire challenge.
No. You gotta break my hole. Okay, so I've just straightened it as much as I can. Still good. Just gotta be careful and not probably go down any more snow.
With the crisis averted and my hiking pole still intact, I made the sensible call to avoid snow where possible. On to peak number 2. As we approached the third peak, we realised the hardest part of this first off-trail section wasn't the terrain, but navigation. While Mount Twynham had a faint trail most of the way, Little Twynham and Tennyson Woods Knoll had none, so sticking closely to our map was essential.
Okay, good. Number 3 done. Tennyson Wood Knoll.
This peak was a good spot for a snack break, with great views of a lot of peaks we would climb later in the day, like Mount Townsend.
Forgetting something?
Stu and I were making pretty good time as we made our way back to the main range track and up to peak number 4. This was the first peak we noticed the wind really starting to pick up, and also one of the many peaks where we made friends with plenty of flies.
Love me. Let's keep going.
We stepped onto the first stretch of metal mesh walking platforms, but it didn't take long before we veered off trail again towards the next 3 peaks.
Number 5.
Mount Lee.
As we passed the 4-hour mark, we had run out of water from our grail bottles and we knew we needed to find some soon. With no water in sight, we dropped down towards the next snow patch on our way to the next peak, making sure I didn't repeat the same slippery mistake I'd made earlier in the day. We topped up with some snow, then thankfully found running water just across the long snow patch. From that point on, we made sure to fill up at every water source we came across.
What did you just find out, mate?
Just found out we're in the Courier Mail.
We're in the Courier Mail. Nice. Number 6, Mount Northcote. Coat. Mount Northcote, not Coat.
Paul. Always waiting for you.
Not far from Northcote was Mount Clark, which was probably the easiest of the 15 peaks to climb.
Number 7,
Mount
Clark.
Clark.
I wanted to say this.
Clarky.
All filled up, we headed back to the track.
Hey, see that rabbit? Alright, so we've just made our way back onto the main range track, but we won't be here for long because we're now just about to veer off up this ridge to the next 4 peaks, which I think will probably be the hardest part of the whole day.
And I wasn't wrong. This section took us to the next 4 peaks and the longest time spent off trail.
Number 8,
Mueller's Peak.
over halfway. Shake it.
Oh my goodness.
Alright, get down from there.
I'm good.
With 8 peaks down, we had less than half to go, but if anything, the second half was tougher, longer, and far more demanding than the first.
Number 9, Alice Rawson Peak.
On to the second highest mountain in Australia, which had some cool rock formations and a climb to the top.
Number 10, Mount Townsend.
It's mountain in Australia. Now, it's just a little bit taller.
As mentioned earlier, the next 2 peaks were very close together, so we decided to combine them into one summit. So technically, we ended up climbing the 16 highest peaks in Australia.
Number 11,
Abbott Peak.
and Mount Dafua.
The trek between this peak and the next was easily the longest of the day, involving a big descent and a long grind through Kosciuszko's rugged alpine terrain.
main range track again. I'm eating my Bounce protein ball. This is my coconut macadamia flavour. This is my favourite. It tastes so good.
As we made our way towards the 12th peak, the winds picked up even more and we noticed how dramatically the sky had changed, taking on an eerie purple-yellow colour. A severe heat wave across southern Australia had pushed thick smoke from the Victorian bushfires into the lower parts of New South Wales. Despite the crazy weather, it was a pretty cool feeling to be standing on top of Australia. After Kosciuszko, we were relieved to reach our first and only toilet stop for the entire trek.
Thank goodness for that. Great success.
Up on the ridge, the wind was so strong it nearly knocked me over, taking Stu with me. We couldn't believe how relentless the wind had become and how insane the sky looked, looking like something out of a movie, like the fiery pits of Mordor. As we pushed on toward the final two peaks, we crossed a long stretch of metal walking platforms before heading off trail for the final time. It was here that fatigue really began to set in. With another peak ticked off, our final challenge was Ram's Head, the fourth highest mountain in Australia. Although the distance wasn't great, exhaustion had well and truly set in, making every uphill step a battle. Exhausted or not, the last peak was in sight and we kept on moving. Reaching peak number 15 was an incredible feeling. This was something we'd been working towards for years and we had finally done it. Stu even had enough reception to video call Cass and the boys to share the moment. But we weren't done yet. The sun was starting to set and there was still a long 12 kilometers to the finish line. After nearly 2 exhausting hours on a track that felt endless and unchanging, we finally rejoined the main range trail just as nighttime set in. With only another hour or so ahead of us, the finish line was finally within reach.
Come on!
17 hours later, Stu and I had finally crossed the finish at Charlotte's Pass, cracking open a couple of Kosciuszko Pale Ales to celebrate. We were completely exhausted but proud to have finally climbed Australia's 15 highest peaks in a single day. Huge thanks to our sponsors and everyone who donated to support Here and Say. All the links are below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next adventure.